Just about fell off the machine there. Alright guys, welcome to Gilbert Gardens. This is a kind of like a Canadian homesteading channel where we do a lot of our own equipment maintenance. Today we're working on the brand new Hustler. It's the Hustler Raptor SD. Got about 12 hours on it, so it calls for an initial little service, basically just an oil change. Retorque some bolts, things like that. It's all in your owner's manual, but thought I'd just cover this oil change. Like most mowers, it's a pain in the friggin' nuts. Pardon my French. But you really only need 3 tools. The dealer should have supplied a 1/2-inch hose for you, 1/2-inch inside diameter. This goes over the oil drain plug, and then you open the oil drain bolt, which is 10 mil. I've got it mounted to a little 1/4-inch ratchet here. Just to get in there, you just work it back about 4 turns and the oil should drain out. You'll see in the video, but I got a little salsa container. It fits just perfectly between the deck and the tire, rear tire, the right side. And then you can just drain it right into there. You can use whatever you want. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 1.5 to, 2 liters might come out depending. So just be ready for that. And I decided to clean the air intake out because grass clippings fly everywhere on this thing. And that's just going to be a T30 Torx, just to loosen the top guard off, and then you can reach in there and pull out all the grass. So yeah, so aside from the tools, you'll basically just need, I believe it calls for 1.7 liters without the filter. Just buy 2 liters of, it's 1040. I got Kawasaki's brand of oil, semi-synthetic blend. 10 bucks a liter Canadian, so I mean, might as well use what they got going on. The first service doesn't call for the filter to be changed. Just 2 quarts of that oil should do ya. And what else? Yeah, so this is going to be basically, we're going to change the oil without removing the deck. You'll be really hard pressed to get an oil pan under there, so that's why I was mentioning about the little container. Anything you can get your hose into that holds, a liter, liter and a half, you can always just close the valve, empty your container, and then open it up again. That just saves you from dropping the deck, which I haven't actually done yet, but that'll be another video. Yeah, so let's jump into the video now, and if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them below. Thanks. Okay, so jumping into the video here. This is me attempting to get my oil pan underneath the mower, which I soon realized wouldn't work. Yeah, if you pull the pins under at the back there, you can disengage the transmission. There's 2 pins. I always just roll my vehicles or get them onto a little mat there in case I make a boo-boo with the oil change. I got enough marks on the floor, so yeah, here's my wife just wondering what's going on at 6 a.m. I'm just fitting up this 1/2-inch hose here. I think I cut roughly 2 feet off. You just kind of feed it in behind that rear right tire. Use an X-Acto knife to cut it. And there's the oil filter there, the black oil filter. And just in front of that is the little nipple that accepts the 1/2-inch hose. And then just to the right of that is a little plastic nut with the 10 millimeter to back that off. There it is installed there. So make sure it's on there nice and snug. Feed it down. Remember gravity, like these are all based on gravity, so you want to get that hose far out and low so that it drains nice and evenly. There's me just pulling the slack through and trying to get that little salsa container a bit further out. That just helps with the gravity, like I was saying. Yeah, it's a pretty long and tedious process. My little container was filling up, so I closed the valve and emptied it. It was actually pretty dark oil for only 12 hours. I was pretty surprised it was that dark anyhow. when you check it on the dipstick, it looks pretty clear, but then you drain it and you know, it looks pretty used. So here's my jack. I decided to just jack up the rear end of this thing. There's two little, there's some bolts there. It's pretty sturdy. Just watch that transmission pin, like I was saying. They're pretty flimsy. You don't want to bend those. That just gets my angle a little bit better. Push a bit more oil towards that tube. So moving on to the oil, the air filter here while we're draining the oil. So use a flathead screwdriver. Pop those two-stage pins open. There's 3 of those, and then you just take the T30, work these 3 bolts out, and then that's the cage. Pretty much does nothing, as you can see. And just watch yourself. There's these Y-type washers that you might misplace. So yeah, I went ahead. I took all the grass out, and those you just get them lined up. You just pop the top of the pins in. And here's the actual oil, the air filter, and it actually is removable with just a little thumb screw right there. You just back that thumb screw off a few turns. You can pop that out. If you got some compressed air, you can shoot it in towards the filter, and it'll blow the debris out. You never want to push the debris back into the filter, so just watch yourself there. So that's reinstalled. Now we're pretty much, I think I'm just closing the valve here. It's a really tight squeeze in that back right corner. So yeah, so now I'm just cleaning up the little bit of oil there by where the tube is. Lowering the vehicle, make sure it's nice and level when I start to refill the engine. I always use I got a glass, probably not the best, but a glass measuring cup that I use. So yeah, get your funnel ready, get your 2 quarts. I've lost my nice big funnel, so I ended up having to use 2 funnels because I didn't want to make a mess. Don't want to risk it. So what I did is I went ahead, I added a full liter. Let that drain in there. My wife ended up showing up to see what's going on, doing some workouts or something, not really sure, giving a helping hand. So yeah, I put another half a liter in, so I'm up to 1.5 liters, and then I just let the engine fill up and settle for about 10 minutes or so. Check it, and I believe I added a little teeny bit more, so I think I got to the 1.7 mark, pretty close anyhow. Yeah, other than that, we just pretty much clean her up. That's the oil change. Blinded by the ones I lost, connecting lines of which we crossed, dropped off the scene that side, wishing to have one more fight left in me. The life I see, what's left in me, burning bridges to the. All right, well, that went pretty smooth with the oil change. It's like any mower. It's just a pain in the butt, The engine's so low, center of gravity's low. You always need those damn tubes. So, I was learning as I went too. You could tell in the video there, like I was mentioning, I took just a car jack on the left side, just around the back frame that protects the engine. There's a little spot there. It's pretty sturdy with the bolts. I just lifted up a teeny bit, and that kind of gets a bit of an angle. And it really helps drain the oil, so I went ahead and did that. The manual says let it drain for at least 10 minutes. I probably let it go for about 20 on the angle, so I feel like I got most of the oil out. And just most important things when you're refilling small engines that don't have a crankcase ventilation system is you just really got to make sure you don't overfill it. So it says 1.7 liters when you don't remove the filter, which we didn't remove the filter. So I think I did about 1.5, yeah, liter and a half, and I let it sit for another 10 minutes. Checked it, it was a teeny bit low, added a bit more, and then Bob's your uncle and Mary's your aunt. So there you go. So now we'll run it around, let it cool off, check it again, but should be pretty well close. Anyhow, if this video helped you, please consider liking and subscribing. If you got a Raptor SD or just a regular Raptor, I guess, consider subscribing, because I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of maintenance on this mower. We just got it brand new, like I said. There's lots of cool things you can do to these mowers. I think I'll be cutting the deck open with a blowtorch to let some of the grass clippings fly out a bit further. Also, forgot to mention, if you're thinking of buying this mower and you want to see a little bit of a review, check the video up here, or up here, wherever those things go. I got a little, that's about a 15-minute little review on the mower. Like I said, we just got it, so it's still new to us, but little hint, we like it. It cuts tall grass. Check the video out, it's pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, that's it. Take care, and we'll catch you next time.